video we are going to study about chapter 14, that is statistics. Before studying this chapter, students, I want to know from you, do you know that what is the meaning of statistics? So students, statistics is a branch of mathematics. It is a branch of mathematics that deals with collection and analysis of numerical data. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you that what is statistics. Statistics, it is a special branch of mathematics जो deal करती है collection और analysis. किसकी analysis के साथ? Deals with collection and analysis of numerical data. Now question arises here, what is data? So students, data is a raw information that you collect, that will be collected for a special purpose. Okay, तो हम क्या करते हैं, data, we will collect that data only when we want to get a raw information regarding a special purpose. For example, collection of data of temperature of month of November of Delhi. So this is the raw information that we have collected as the temperature of month of November of Delhi. So it means of Delhi means I am talking about a place here. So students, I have told you about what is statistics. Statistics is a branch of mathematics जो deal करती है collection and analysis of numerical data से. And what is data? Data is a raw information that will be collected for a special purpose. So beta, here in statistics some steps are involved. First will be your collection of data. After this there will be presentation of data, because without presentation you won't be able to go for your purpose. So collection of data, presentation of data, and graphical presentation of data. The three steps that you are going to study in this chapter: graphical presentation of data, yeah, you can write it as graphical representation of data here, and the last one that you are going to study in this chapter is measures of central tendency. But measures of central tendency are deleted from your syllabus in this year due to this pandemic. So we are going to study only these three steps, that is collection of data, presentation of data, and graphical representation of data. Although measures of central tendency is also important, but according to your syllabus for this year, these measures of central tendency has been deleted from your syllabus. Now students, let us discuss about collection of data. That is the first step of statistics. While collecting data, there are two types of data. Okay, in collection of data there are two types of data. First one is your primary data and second one is your secondary data. Okay, first one is your primary data and second one is your secondary data here. So for by primary data we can say that data which is collected for first time, data which is collected for first time is known as primary data, and data which is used for second time is known as secondary data. Okay, so in other words you can say that it is a first hand data, and this is a second hand data. So for first hand data, some examples are here: collection of weight of students of your class, and it is the census data, literacy rate, etc. So I hope students the difference between primary data and secondary data is clear to you. It is a first hand data that you are collecting first time for a particular purpose, but secondary data is your second hand data in which the data is already collected for any other purpose, but if it is matching, if it is using in your investigation or your survey, then you can also use this data. And this data is always from the named organizations or any other, I can say that institutions that have done the survey. For example, when we are talking about census, so we always take that data from National Statistical Office, and for literacy rate we will follow the same thing. So I hope collection of data is clear to you, and according to this there are two types of data that is present, primary data and secondary data here. Students, as such, you know that whenever we will talk about statistics, you know that the basic three steps that we are going to study in this chapter is collection of data, second is your presentation of data, and third is your graphical representation of data. Okay, first is your collection of data, second is your presentation of data, and third is your graphical representation of data. Okay, so the steps that we are going to study in this chapter is this. So in the case of this, we already have discussed about collection of data, and I hope you all have known about the primary data and secondary data. Now students, before going for the presentation of data, that is exercise 14.2, I want to discuss some basic things with you. Okay, so there must be the data, discrete data. Okay, whenever we are talking about discrete data, for example, I am talking about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 2. So this type of data will be a discrete data. Okay, but whenever I am changing my data in the form of a tabular form or in some intervals like 2 to 4, 4 to 8, or 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, this type of data is known as grouped data. Okay, what we call that data? We call that data as grouped data, and this data can be called as ungrouped data or discrete data. So students, I hope that it is clear to you that what is discrete or ungrouped data and what is grouped data here. So now in the case of grouped data, there is also two categories, that is continuous data and one is not continuous. Okay, not continuous. So students, this must be coming in your mind that which one is your continuous data and which one is not continuous. So whenever a group, suppose a group I am talking about, this is called a class interval. What we call it? We call it as a class interval. This is known as lower limit, and this will be known as upper limit here. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you that whenever we are talking about a group data, a particular group is known as class interval, and the number that is coming in this is known as lower limit, and here it is known as upper limit. So I hope all of you have concept about all these things. And one more thing that I am going to discuss about is formula of class mark here. So what is the formula of class mark of a class interval? Class mark of a class interval will be equal to upper limit plus lower limit upon 2. Okay, so what will be the formula for the class mark? The formula for the class mark is upper limit plus lower limit upon 2. One more thing that I want to tell you is range. Okay, so whenever we are talking about range, we always talk about highest value minus lowest value here. Okay, we will talk about highest value minus lowest value. Suppose I am giving you a data 3, 4, 6. I hope you all know that this is discontinuous data. 10, 2. So highest value is 10 here and lowest value is 2. So range in this case is 10 minus 2, that is 8. Students, so these are some basic things that you need to do or need to focus before discussing exercise 14.2 here. So this is all about the basic things that I have discussed. Students, in this video we are going to solve exercise 14.2 here, in which we are going to understand how to represent our data in the form of a frequency distribution table. Students, here question number 1 is in front of you. Let's have a look at this question. The blood group of 30 students of class 8 are as follows. It means some instructions are given to you in which it is said that a blood group of how many students? 30 students is given to you. For example, one student has given A blood group, B, O, A, B, and there are how many observations? 30 observations are here. Represent this data in the form of frequency distribution table, and the next part in the question is which is the most common and which is the rarest blood group among the students. So the first thing that we need to do is to make a frequency distribution table for this. So students, we definitely make a frequency distribution table here, and in that we will make 3 columns. The first column will be your, what will be the heading for that column? That is your blood group. We will mention the blood group here. Second one will be your tally marks. We will denote it with the help of tally marks. And the second one is your number of students. It means in the third column we are talking here about frequency, that how many students are having a blood group. For example, this is A, this is B, this is O, and this is AB here. And the last column I will be writing down the total number of students here. So students, as you can see that, let us find out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 students. How many students? There are 9 students who are having blood group as A. So I will be putting how many tally marks? 4. This is 5th, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. So I can write down 9 here. Now find out the number of students having blood group B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again I will put tally marks 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one and this is the 6th. So number of students is 6 here. Same is the case if I will find out the number of students having blood group O will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 here. So I can write it down how many number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 and 12. So I will be writing 12 here. And number of students having blood group AB. This is 1. The second observation 2, and this is how much? 1. This is 2 and this is 3 here. So 1, 2 and 3. So number of students having blood group 3 is blood group AB is 3. So total is your 30. So we got the observations as 30 here. Okay. So this is the form of frequency distribution table that we are going to make for this question. One more thing, that which is the most common blood group. Students, as you can see that in this table 12 is the maximum frequency. It means the number of students that have blood group O is 12. So we can say that O is the most common blood group. O is the most common. O is the most common blood group. And when we are talking about rarest blood group, rarest means sabse kam. So you can see that the frequency of students having blood group AB is 3. So it means I can write down that AB is the rarest blood group. What can I say? I can say that AB is the rarest blood group here. So I hope students this question is clear to you, that what we have done in this question. Now students, we will look at question number 2 of the same exercise. Let us have a look at the question. A distance in kilometer of 40 engineers. It means total observations is how much? It is 40. From their residence to their place of work were found as follows. 40 observations are given in front of you. Construct a grouped frequency distribution table. It means again we have to make a table, but in this form we have to make a group frequency table. In the previous question we have made the discrete frequency table. In it, it is also mentioned that the class size will be 5 for the data given above, taking the first interval as 0, 5, and after this you have to do the question. So students, again we will be making that question here. We will be making a group frequency distribution table here. So let me use the table here. So the table that I am using here is your 2 columns I will be using. The first column is in distance in kilometer. distance in kilometer, and second column I will be using is number of engineers. So students, it is your choice whether you want to use telemarks or not. It is up to you here. Okay, so now already it is mentioned in the question that we have to make the group frequency distribution table. So I will be making the group frequency. For example, from here you can see that the first interval is 0 to 5. Okay, what is the first interval? That is 0 to 5 here. And let us find out the last observation. The highest observation is there. If I'm not wrong, 32 is the highest observation in this case. So I will be moving till like 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, and 30 to 35 will be the last interval. Why 30 to 35 is the last interval, beta? The reason is this, because you know that in this case 32 is the highest value, and you know that 32 will lie in the interval of 30 to 35 here. Okay students, so after this, now let us find out the number of observations or the number of engineers who live in place in between 0 to 5 here. So how many observations are there? In the first column no observation there. In the second column 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Okay, so I have counted that 5 number of engineers are there who are living in the boundary of up to 0 to 5. So same is the case if I will find out 5 to 10, I will get 11 numbers. I will get, after this I will be getting 11 again. This is 9, this is 1, this is 1, and this is 2 here. Students, you can cross check your answers here. Before doing that, just make a total here. 5 plus 11 plus 11 plus 9 plus 1, that is giving 10 plus 1, 11, 11 plus 2 is 13, 13 plus 11 is 24, 24 plus 16 will be giving you 40 here. So now we got the total observation as 40 here. So here one more thing is given to you, that what main features do you observe from this tabular representation. So students, it is up to you that which thing you can you can notice from this table. From here I can see that there are 2 engineers that who live in the boundary of 30 to 35 kilometers here. So this is all about your question number 2 for this exercise. Now students, let us see question number 3 again. The relative humidity of a certain city for a month of 30 days was as follows. It means how many observations will be there? 30 observations will be there, and all the humidity of the particular days is given to you. Construct a group frequency distribution table. Again we have to make a group frequency distribution table, and one more thing that we need is which month or season do you think this data is about. Students, as you can see that the humidity is in 90s and 80s. You know that the moist climate is in the month of July, so we can say that this is rainy season or the month of July for which the data is predicted here. So now again I am making a table here. Now students, I will be making 2 columns. First one is your relative humidity, and second one is your number of days. Okay, so students, as you can feel like this, that we need to make a group frequency distribution table here. So find out the observation that is least in this case. The observation that is least in this case will be your what? That will be your, I think 84.9 is the least one. And the observation that is maximum in this case is your how much? That will be your, let us find out. I hope that is your 99.2 here. So students, if I will be making group frequency distribution table here, so it means I have to start my class intervals from 84 to 86, 86 to 88, 88 to 90, 90 to 92, 92 to 94, 94 to 96, 96 to 98, and one more I will be taking. Why I will be taking one more? Because you know that my last observation is 99.2, that is highest, so it must come in the category of 98 to 100. So total is written here.
Now find the number of observations that will be coming in the class interval of 84. First one is this, and 84 to 86, and my second one will be that. What will be my second one, beta? Let's have a look here. Let us find out the second one. This is 99, 90, 86.5, 92.94.2, 95.1, 89, 97, 93, 92, 97, 93, 96, 92.1, 90.2, 95.7, 98.3, 97.3, 96.1, 92.1 and 89 here. So how many observations I am getting? Only one observation here. After this, in the interval of 86 to 88, again I am getting only one observation, that is 86.5 here. So same is the case when I will be finding. I will be getting 2, 2, 7, 6, 7 and 4 number of their observations who are coming in the class intervals like this. So after totaling, I will be getting